This stage is just a slog, man. It's fun. I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy the puzzle. Like, I want to make it work, but it's like, I wish I was better at it. I wish I was getting there faster.
In today's episode, we're talking about chasing ideas.
From seeing Saturn through a telescope to building tools and teams that actually work.
We'll dive into what it really takes to build something meaningful.
The lessons, the experiments, and the chaos that comes with creating.
I'm Sean Sun, founder of Miscreants.
And I'm Andrew Askins, founder of MetaMonster.
Grab your coffee, lean in,
and let's get into it.
The tool is getting to the point where it is cool, it is useful, it is powerful, but we're firmly stuck in that vitamin territory.
Don't always look up to some of the top tier agencies because they run Michelin shops.
Makes me really fucking jealous of VC-backed companies. It's like, fuck, if I had a little bit of funding.
We're shocked by me saying if Figma health inspector came into our org, we shut down tomorrow.
This is the problem, dude. It's so fucking hard to run an agency and stand up a SaaS at the same time.
I was really against it until you offered that part.
Every small move is how we get.
Howdy.
Hi.
We've had so many false starts of season 4, I think.
Yeah, is this not season 8? I thought we were on season 8 now.
You're right. It was a limited series for the past 4 seasons.
2 episodes.
Yeah. It's like those what TV shows did in the middle of COVID. It's season's over.
Yeah. I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever, and you're so busy now that you don't even respond to my Slack messages.
Sorry. Hold on. I don't like that you said those things together because you made it sound like I'm the reason we haven't talked in forever.
You are.
Which is 75% true.
No. It's 25% true. I was gallivanting in the woods for 2 weeks. So
I didn't realize you were gone for 2 weeks. I thought you were only.
I was away from Atlanta for a month. I was.
Whoa.
Yeah, I went and cat sit for my parents for a week. I went to Washington for 2 weeks, hung out with friends, went backpacking, then rented a car and drove around the Olympic Peninsula by myself, which was fucking awesome.
Nice.
Jumped in the Pacific Ocean, jumped in an alpine lake, climbed some sketchy mountains, saw a ton of beautiful views, walked in the rainforest, saw Saturn through a telescope.
Whoa.
It was, yeah. I feel like that's the one I always mention last, and that's the one that people get most excited about.
Yeah. You've had a whole Secret Life of Walter Mitty situation in the past.
Dude, it was great. I made a friend hiking down a trail one day, and she was telling me that she'd just come from this campsite and was checking the little board at the campsite and saw that the rangers were doing a telescope night.
Huh.
And so she said it was great. It was super fun. So I went and stayed at that campsite the next night, and they were doing it again. And it was awesome. There were 50 or 60 people who drove up to the top of the mountain and parked and were just walking around in the dark because you can't have white light. It ruins the ability to see through the telescope and everything. It dampens your night vision. So there were 50 or 60 strangers milling around in the dark, just quietly chatting with each other, waiting in lines to look through telescopes. And they had 4 huge telescopes trained at different things in the night sky. And one of the things we got to see was Saturn. It was like a little tiny Saturn. It was, these telescopes were not big enough to blow it up.
Sure.
We weren't looking through the James Webb Space Telescope,
right?
But it was still really cool. You could see the rings. It's holy shit, that's a planet.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. So, and then I was in San Diego for a week. So, fully my fault. There's at least a month in there that was fully my fault. I'd had kind of aspirations of maybe I'll drive to a coffee shop and we should do a podcast episode from a coffee shop on the Olympic Peninsula. And yeah, no way that was happening.
We can split it 50-50. It's both our faults.
Yeah,
that's cool. You ever think about how crazy it is that when human I understand you're oh hey, there are things in the sky. I want to go look at things in the sky and tell it magnifying glass exists. We keep stacking them. We can start to see things in the sky, and then just the realization of oh shit, there's more giant balls of things out there.
The thing that always gets me is when I start thinking about how you're looking back in time because of how light travels and everything.
Right.
Light can only travel so fast. And so when something's 100 light years away and you're seeing it, you're literally looking back in time 100 years.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense in my head.
It's fucking batshit. It's so cool.
That is pretty cool.
Space is wild.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Yeah.
The coldest take
Physics is wild.
possible. Yeah.
Anyway, how you doing? How's it been? What's good?
How am I doing? Good and bad and medium and all the things.
Okay.
The hiking and being in the woods was fantastic. Brighton SEO was a lot of fun. I made a bunch of new SEO friends. There were a couple of times where I didn't want to be an extrovert. I didn't want to talk to strangers, and I made myself do it, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and yeah, made a bunch of friends. Hasn't turned into leads or customers yet, which is to be expected. I wasn't really going there expecting this time to get a bunch of customers. It was more about, let me build relationships, let me make friends, because then, those are people I can lean on to amplify content and ask questions and get advice and get feedback and all that. And it was just a chance to test our elevator pitch over and over again to see what works and what resonates with people. So I felt like I got what I wanted out of it. And yeah, we'll see if it amplifies anything we're doing. I'm going to another conference in December, so we'll see how that goes. And then the other big thing is we launched the new features, I think, between the last podcast and now. So MetaMonster is a totally different tool now. It's the tool that I've been talking about for a while, so you can sign up for free. We also updated the pricing model to be credit based, and users get 500 free credits that don't expire. So you can sign up for free, no credit card required. You get 500 credits. You get to crawl one site, a max of 500 pages, and then and then you can use those credits to run prompt templates and
Nice.
And interact with the chat. And so, yeah, we went from a tool that could only optimize page styles and meta descriptions, and it was a total black box. You couldn't edit anything, to now it's like a flexible spreadsheet almost with SEO prompt superpowers. So you can, we automatically generate vector embeddings of everything. So you can do semantic search and content clustering with cosine similarity stuff. We do, and then we've got prompt templates to do everything from generate page titles and meta descriptions like we used to image alt text, internal links, even SERP analysis and content refreshes. And we just added a web search tool. So now you can, include web search and sort of research, have the agent do some research as part of a content refresh workflow. So the tool is getting a lot more flexible, a lot more powerful. I think the flip side of that is the learning curve's a little bit higher now. So, we're trying to figure that out. The numbers we're seeing, we're getting 1 or 2 people signing up every day, which is cool. Most of them are not activating. So they're maybe crawling a site, but they're not running prompts. So that's one thing we got to figure out. We're also working on some stuff to enable more powerful workflows, because I think the thing I keep coming back to is the on-page optimization stuff is annoying, but it's not, the things that really move the needle are keyword research, content generation, backlinks, and reporting. Those are the things that really move the needle for agencies. And we can't really do those things super well now. So we're also doing some work to make the tables even more flexible. so that we can import other data, keyword data. We can start doing content generation, content creation kind of stuff. And then I've been testing a couple of like rough backlink workflows that'll get a lot better once we have flexible tables. So we're working on that. We're working on, we're thinking about workflows and how to make everything easier. So it's like both make it more powerful, but also make it easier, and really make it easier for people to like just kick stuff off quickly. And we just like, I think the frustrating part is it's just slow going. We've been adding a lot to the tool, but, we're not adding customers. I'm having conversations with people, but those conversations are mostly ending in, yeah, this is cool. There's something here. This is interesting. And like, I'm hearing patterns. Like I had this great conversation with someone the other day who said, it was almost like he was reading off of our homepage. He was like, yeah, the thing, I just hate like copying and pasting between ChatGPT and spreadsheets, and like Screaming Frog is cool, but you have to like rerun a crawl every time you want to generate something with AI. And I love that this lets me like crawl once and then generate. And so there was like, that was really cool. And I was like, awesome. So do you feel like there's enough there for you to buy? And he was like, well, I'll use my credits and then we'll see. And it's just like, oh,
I see.
How do we get over this hump? How do we make some, like, the tool is getting to the point where it is cool, it is useful, it is powerful, but we're clearly still not solving. We're clearly still a vitamin. We're firmly stuck in that vitamin territory where it's like people are like, oh, this is like cool, interesting, nice to have. I should use this, but they don't.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do we get to that painkiller? How do we get to that painkiller territory? And right now, our best guess is like, is we got to be able to do keyword research and content creation kind of stuff. And then we got to be able to make it all easier to execute on.
Yeah. That's sick though. I didn't realize you were getting like 1 to 2 signups a day. That's like,
yeah, at least for the last week or so. Part of that might be, although I don't think so, because I don't, maybe. So we just launched a prompt library as this like SEO, programmatic SEO experiment too. So we took all these prompts that I've been testing and working on over the last like few months as we've been building these new features. And we put them out for free on the website. So you can go to our website, click on the prompts library, and then you can, you can click on the prompts library and then read through all the prompts, copy and paste them. We modified them slightly so you can use them on other tools. And that seems to, we just launched that like a week ago on the site, and that seems to already be generating some organic traffic. Nice. And then got picked up by like a newsletter. Nice. And so my hope is that that's helping. And then, but yeah, we're getting 1 to 2 free trial signups a day on average.
Nice. That's pretty good.
But yeah, they're not activating and certainly not paying. So,
I mean, I wonder if, are they using their credits?
No, that's what I'm saying. They're
that's what you mean.
Any of their credits. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So they're, for the most part, they seem to be crawling the site. So they're at least getting in and like crawling a site, but then they're not using any credits. So a couple of things might be happening here. The crawls take some time, and so they might be losing interest while the crawl is happening, and we're having trouble getting them to come back. Or then they're getting in and it's too hard for them to figure out how to optimize things and how to work with the tool. Or it's just like there's too many other things going on in their world, and
yeah, that makes sense.
They're losing interest. Or it could be like that we're getting the wrong people in the door too. That is a possibility. And but
they're real signups, right? Like are they all like Gmails? Or I mean, I'm not saying Gmails aren't real things, but
it's definitely mostly Gmails. I'm pulling up our dashboard right now, and by dashboard I mean our database.
Okay. I was going to ask you what. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we are definitely seeing. Yeah, I mean, there's for sure some like bullshit. There's row 267 is GFGR, like their organization name is. But then I'm seeing some in here like WP Expert, SEO Hero, Digital Hawk.
Nice. Wait. I don't think you can say those things out loud. Okay. It depends on terms of service, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm just too used to like security B2B client things, where the client's like, if you say our name, we will cancel our contract.
I don't think these people care. Yeah. I'm not saying they are endorsing the tool in any way, shape, or form. I'm purely saying that that they have signed up.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You're probably right. You should be a little bit more careful about that. But it's all good. Sorry to SEO Hero and WP Expert. But yeah, the point is there's definitely some organizations in here that are legit.
Nice.
It's not all of them, but there's definitely some in here that are legit.
Cool.
So
cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
But then again, like, yeah, if I go down the row, so since we dropped the free credits, we did like an initial promotion that was like 1,000 free credits. Since we switched the free credits from 1,000 back to 500, I'm seeing 498 credits, 499 credits, 500, 500, 500, 450, 200, 500, 500, 500. So any of those 500s, like the person has not done anything in the tool.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like they've maybe crawled a site, but they haven't.
Yeah.
They haven't run a prompt.
Makes sense. I mean, I feel like this is where like email nurture comes in too, right? Like,
yeah. And I have a nurture campaign. I don't think it's doing much. I mean, I'll keep an eye on it. We're only a week in, and the nurture campaign is like kind of, I try not to overwhelm people, so I space it out. So yeah, we'll see if some of those, if we get people back in over the next week or two. But in general, we've had the credit system live for at least a month now, I think, or close to it, and haven't seen anyone convert yet. So,
damn.
Yeah, okay. We've seen a couple people use up all their credits,
Cool.
or most of their credits. We've got one or two people who've used 800-ish credits, 900 credits.
Okay. Have you spoken to those people?
No, because they're not like responding to our emails.
Oh, okay. I see. Damn.
Yeah. This is the thing. People, like, one thing that kind of annoys me is people are like, why haven't you asked them? Why haven't you talked to them? And I'm like, I send them all an email as soon as they sign up saying like, hey, what brought you to MetaMonster? And if no one responds to that, the chances of them responding to a follow-up email, in my experience, are 0 to none. And so what
if you offer more credits though? Like for the people that actually use like 800.
We have that in our loops, in our like in the PS of our automated emails, and in our like automated emails that go out when you run out of credits. Right. We say, do you need more? Like, hit reply to this email and we'll give you more.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. Everyone always thinks they have the easy answer, and I'm just being a dummy. I'm just teasing.
Yeah. Users suck, man. Go back to running an agency.
I'll take users over clients.
Yeah, fair enough.
How was your big leadership retreat?
It was good. It was good. It was good to like. I mean, I've been playing catch up since we got back.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, it was good. It was good to see like Ben and JJ in a place, and like this is the second time we've done it. It was way better than the first one. I think we left with some really solid direct. Like I think we were aligned on direction. I think last time it was like half work. It was like 75% work, 25% of time to talk, and it was like 2 days. This time we, clients knew about it. We canceled meetings during our blackout week at the end of the month where we don't take client meetings. So there's a lot less calls to be on. And we have a project manager as well. So it's nice to have someone else sort of direct some of the work that's coming in from clients. It was good. I think it was also right after my like Michelin speech to the team.
Yeah, talk about that because obviously listeners haven't seen that.
You mean our listeners aren't just the people that work at Miscreants?
They might be, but
no, I hope not. I think there's maybe one or two people that occasionally tune in. I basically it's been this idea that's like in my head for years since running the agency, and it was because I conflated someone else's a friend's point. He was telling me how like a lot of really he was like don't always like look up to like some of the top tier agencies because they run like Michelin shops where they have razor thin margins and whatever.
That's
But that was not my takeaway from that. I like definitely heard that. I was like, oh, I should just run my agency like a Michelin-star restaurant. But I think like there's a lot that there's a lot of parallels to sort of learn from it. Last year I started writing like a blog post series that's completely died off called Agency Confidential, which was just more thoughts on this stuff. And I think like when you start thinking about the analogy between the two, right? Like they're both service businesses. One just has like expiring food and you get burned, and you have like angry Gordon Ramsay chefs and not the highest pay in the world, like and all that sort of stuff. And the other one, you sit at the comfort of your home, but there's other trade-offs. Like we don't technically have like account managers, so we don't have like servers. So our chefs are also serving the food and talking directly to the clients. So there's some parts where the analogy isn't perfect, but that's what analogies are. The whole point of it is basically that in terms of like agency operations, like as someone who's never worked as an agency, I think I've begun to look more and more towards how I imagine like a Michelin-star restaurant is run, and I think there's a lot of like learnings from it. So like having like mise en place, right, which is like food prep. To me is about sort of prepping, like when a client sort of starts, like, do you have all of these things prepped for them or even to the point that like when we're on a call with them, do we like have our things ready to share, which like most of the time, yes, but also there are times where, someone's on a call and thinking about something else or focusing on something else because they're not the main person, and then it's their time to share and it's not ready. And like, those are like the little things that like don't offer the same sort of Michelin-star experience, and that's what I really want to get to. And ultimately, I think the reasons why I think at least for our team, why they work here is that they do want to do excellent work and provide a great outcome and experience. So
I think the other part I like about it is the emphasis on service, because so many agencies hyper focus on the product, the work, the output. And yes, a Michelin-star restaurant without really fucking good food is going to fail. Mm-hmm. But a Michelin-star restaurant with great food and shitty service, that like if the food comes out late, if the food, if you don't know what you're getting until it's on the table, if you're not able, like if you don't make people feel good when they come to the restaurant, you're going to fail just as fast, if not faster. And so like, clients so often care less about the food quality than you do. Like you care more about the food quality. They just want it on time, done, handled. They want to feel listened to. They want to feel like it was their idea. They want to, and so like they want to feel like you made them a superstar, kind
Right.
of.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think this all sort of spawned out of like, we have a lot of great talent, and like the product is good, but I think we needed to do a realignment on like, we are very focused. Like for the past 4 years, 4.5, we've been very much like our bar for what we're like, if we're doing well or not, or is the client happy, which like with happy with the final product, but that's like that's like the end, that's like the outcome of all the other things you do, and I think there's like two parts of it. There's like one part is definitely the service. The other part was like operationally, like as we sort of grow and are hiring more people, like I think that the team nodded. Either the team nodded or shocked by me saying like, if a Figma health inspector came into our org, like we would be shut down tomorrow. And it's not because like things are misnamed, but it's the fact that like everything is everywhere and we're doing so many things. So it's like everything everywhere all at once. Not all of our projects have covers on it, for example. Like there's all these things that we could be doing better. And yeah, I mean, I think it's been helpful. Our leadership offsite ended up becoming in part like, how do we actually like, what are the actual things we accomplished? That we did like reviews for the whole team. So like, how are they fitting into sort of like these new principles we're applying, right? Like who needs more work on their knife skills, who needs who needs more work around like their prep skills.
How many principles were there? Weren't there like 19 or 23 or something?
Yeah. So in the bear, I think apparently there's like 23. Oh, this was all by the for the context of everyone listening, it's also because like miscreants, it's just like the bear without like the dead cousin and like anger, like mental health issues plaguing the owner or chef. I think in the bear, Carmi has like 23 principles. I think you see like 11 or so of them on screen. According to the internet, there's 23. I don't really know. They talk about service, they talk about food.
I kind of feel like 23 is way too many. I feel like it needs to be like 5. People can't remember 23.
100%. I ended up having like 7 or 8 at the end. And at that point, I like lost steam. I was like, I'm not writing any more of this stuff. This sucks. Also, there's some of them that start to like blend into each other. But yeah, I mean, I think that they're like, non-negotiables about being like a great chef, right? It's cleaning as you go. It's there's like respecting sort of tradition, but also like up-leveling yourself and like learning about new things and new skills and anyway, it's good. I mean, it's a good thing for us to like continue to refer back to now when we do like performance evals or conversations with people. But yeah, it's one of those things.
I like the presentation a lot. I know it was an internal presentation, but the deck looked great. I really think I would love to see you give it to an external audience at some point. Ideally, after you have done a bunch of work to turn miscreants into the Michelin-Star agency that you want to be, and then you can point to how all of these things did improve the bottom line of the business and the quality of life of employees and et cetera. But even just now, as like an idea, a metaphor that you're exploring as a way to help communicate to your team what you expect, I think it would be really, really, really interesting. I almost wonder if there's a chance for us to promote it as a MetaMonster sponsored webinar kind of thing, where it's like, hey, we're gonna. I don't know if that's interesting to you at all, but like, our audience is agencies. It's a different kind of agency, but not really. You're a marketing agency. But yeah, I'd be super intrigued to like run a webinar that's like Michelin-Star agency something.
Yeah. For what it's worth, I was really against it until you offered that part of like I think
Like if I can get the people there and like organize it all, then
no,
that
it's
kind of
not
thing?
that. It's not that. It's that if I can bring in agency people into MetaMonster, I'm significantly more inclined to do it. When you said I should give a talk, it's like, no, I don't want to talk on stage. Talking on stage sucks.
I mean, I do also think it would be, probably just a cool networking thing for you, hopefully, of like,
yeah,
getting some of your ideas out there.
100%.
Although obviously, like, the thing that's going to drive the most value to you all is a talk related to like cybersecurity vendors, and this talk.
Listen, I have the opportunity to do that too, and I get the opportunity to do that too, and I still don't want to do it. So.
Really, people have asked you to give talks at like security conferences or something.
There's a security marketing conference. I mean, my product marketer is going to give it, and we're going to do a workshop. So I'm going to be there and I'm going to help with the workshop. But like,
oh, rad. What's the topic?
I think it's about like purple teaming your messaging. So
it's a fun metaphor.
Like how to find like competitive angles with your messaging, but then also how to like defend it, like as the market continues to grow, stuff like that. I don't know. I haven't seen the full. I think she's still working on the full talk. It's but I'll let you know how it goes. But yeah, I think it's a messaging exercise. I think, I think because like, I don't know, just the way we found how we like the Miscreants way of doing messaging, like brings in brand a lot early on, and also like often starts with the end in mind of like the website. So when I've done it with other marketers, it's been when we've run it with other marketers, they've been very surprised by the difference in our process versus others. Which, I mean, I guess I've never run through someone else's process, so it's very surprising to me. But yeah,
cool. When is that?
Okay. December.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
Rad.
So I'm excited to see everyone again. Yeah.
Cool. Have you ever heard of this tool, Phantom Buster?
No. What is that?
It's, I found out about it at Writing SEO. It was in the keynote talk. She mentioned an AI workflow someone had built, and like Phantom Buster was part of their workflow. So as far as I can tell, they position themselves initially as kind of a general purpose, like web scraping tool specifically for prospecting, for outbound sales. But I think what people mostly use them for is they have a useful LinkedIn workflow. And so, and apparently LinkedIn is notoriously hard to scrape without getting shut down.
Yes.
And so I am testing out Phantom Buster as a way to try to reach out to people who are familiar with some of our quote unquote competitors. One of the things that I felt like I found again at the conference, that I see in these demo calls that I take from time to time, is that like the people who get it the fastest are the people who have used, like, if you've never used Screaming Frog's OpenAI integration, if you don't even know that exists, there's too much education for me to do to convince you that MetaMonster is going to be valuable to you.
For sure.
But where the tool is now, if you've used Screaming Frog's OpenAI integration, if you've tried to set up some automation with GPT for Sheets, if you have tried using Search Atlas Auto SEO, we had one of our customers, this is one of only two like kind of organic customers that we have right now that we didn't get ourselves, that we didn't know beforehand. They scheduled a demo. Austin actually had to take the demo because I was busy that day. And this person was like, oh, cool. Like, this is Search Atlas, but more affordable and less shitty. And one of our other customers has said to us, like, she was trying to use GPT for Sheets. She tried to use Search Atlas. Neither of them were working well. They were a pain to, like, Search Atlas was just like, the output was not good. GPT for Sheets was like brittle, and it was like really hard to work with to get it to do what she wanted it to do. And so, yeah, it's like clearly people who have experimented with some of these tools get MetaMonster faster. And so the play that I'm going to try to run with Phantom Buster is find posts or people or pages talking about Screaming Frog, about GPT for Sheets, about AirOps, about Search Atlas, and then scrape people who like or comment or interact with content about those, and then try to find their email addresses and then reach out to them and be like, hey, like, we're an X alternative, and try that to see if we can use that to kind of get over some of the education hurdle and like find people who maybe are actively experimenting, maybe have a little bit of a deeper pain point, have felt the pain in a more real way.
Do you feel like, well, I think the answer is yes with Search Atlas, that like you would go for like it's a replacement budget play. Do you think that with someone?
Well, Search Atlas as a whole like does a lot more than we do, but like auto SEO like is like a core feature of Search Atlas, and so like we would replace auto. I don't think we would replace Search Atlas because Search Atlas has is trying to replace Ahrefs, so they have their own keyword data and all this shit.
Gotcha. I didn't know that. I thought Search Atlas was just the auto SEO part, but okay.
And they do like local, like they're truly trying to build like an all-in-one tool that can do fucking everything.
I see.
But apparently it does none of it very well, is what I keep hearing from people.
That is also what I keep hearing from people. Yeah. The folks in the SEO group that I'm in, the sketchy SEO group I'm in, I think I saw a thread. It's like, yeah, they all kind of hate it. So, cool. Sick. I think that's a good plan. I think that makes sense.
With Screaming Frog, it's obviously I'm not going to try to convince someone to replace Screaming Frog with MetaMonster. Screaming Frog's fucking awesome and it does a million things, but it's more like, sure, do your crawl with Screaming Frog if you want, whatever. And then, but like, again, it's feature replacement. Don't like Screaming Frog's AI integration is like, people love it. They say it's fucking cool, but I'm like, but it's pretty clunky to use because for a million reasons. You can only use it when you're running a crawl. That means you can't, if it's kind of fucks up and the output is not, it's like really hard to rapidly test the output of a prompt and tweak it and everything. You have to re-crawl something every time you want to redo the output. It's hard
just to do just a few pages
at once. Like,
bolt-on versus like built-on is a very different experience. So
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. If this doesn't work, I don't know. We've also we've stopped and started with ads a bunch of times. And the most recent conversation we had, we decided to kill ads because I keep hearing from people that to get enough data to really make ads work, you need to be spending like $5,000 a month, and we just don't have that to spend. And then also it feels like, when we have run ads, they've converted at a crazy high rate. But it feels like we don't learn a ton from them. Like, because we're not having conversations with people, we don't learn a ton from them. And so we can't tell, why someone's not using the product or why,
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of like you're not supposed to run an ads for your newsletter or your like blog or something until you feel like you have like content market fit, right? Of like, why. So,
makes me really fucking jealous of VC backed companies. It's like, fuck, if I had a little bit of funding, and Austin and I have some cash we could throw at MetaMonster potentially, but like, we don't want to just throw it at MetaMonster until we like just to learn until we feel confident that we've got something. So this stage is just a slog, man. It's fun. Like I don't mean to just be down about it. Like I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy the puzzle. Like I want to make it work, but it's like, I wish I was better at it. I wish I was getting there faster.
I don't know if I think there are plenty of people who are good at it, but I find it hard to believe that anyone who is good at it, like, can make it significantly fast. Like in, let's say, half the time it'll take for MetaMonster to pick up. You know, I feel like every type of SaaS success overnight story is always like 10 years in the making.
Yeah. I met the founder of Adaptify at
cool.
Do you know that one?
What is that? What is that?
It's one of the more like I'm guessing they started off as like an automate blog content, create, one of these, there's a couple of others that have more name recognition, I think. I see them mentioned from time to time. It's kind of like that one you sent me from one of the marketplaces, right? Like there's a million clones of this popping up all over the place right now. That's just like, it churns out blog posts and claims to do some keyword research. I think theirs is a little bit higher quality and does more. Like, they do reporting, which a lot of the tools don't super do. I don't think they do reporting. They do keyword research. They do backlinks and they do content. They're not cheap. And he said ads is like what it was the first channel that really started to take off for them and what really worked. And it sounds like they grew super fast. And he was telling me to like kind of smoke test stuff and, just put pricing options on your website that you can't support right now. And then if people buy them, just go and build them. I'm a little skeptical of that approach. I feel like people are kind of skeptical of smoke tests these days. And also, Austin's only part-time, so we can only build stuff so fast. But yeah, it was interesting to talk to him, and it's been interesting to look at like, because they're clearly like, we're clearly, circling around some of the same ideas. The tools look pretty fundamentally different, and right now are focused on different use cases. Looking at them as part of and their growth is part of what has led me to the hypothesis that the on-page optimization stuff we're doing is not painful enough for most people. That, keyword research, content creation are kind of the things we really need to be able to help people with.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the okay, so I have that's an interesting point. Like, I think you're right, but I don't think that, because I'm thinking about it now where the tools that are like yours, the people they target tend to be like a Webflow developer, right? There's plenty of like help you generate schema, help you generate like meta descriptions and all this sort of these tools, or help you generate like alt text or any of these things, or like on-page SEO. And like the thing that between myself and my Webflow developers, they all like your tool because it solves like a pain for them, because it's monotonous and tedious to go and like, do all that sort of stuff. So maybe the pain point that you're actually hitting with the current solution set isn't for SEO agencies, it's for like web dev agencies.
Maybe. I have tried pushing on that a couple of times and haven't gotten any bites other than you guys, really. I did, one of the friend who I've been meaning to introduce you to seemed excited to try MetaMonster. I don't think he's signed up yet. I should probably reach out to him and just see if I could get him on a call and do a demo. I'll probably use introducing you as a chance to
also do a demo.
As a chance to follow up with him about doing a demo. But
cool.
Because and part of it might have been I think a lot of people who fit that demographic want integrations, which we don't have yet.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. It's worth trying again. I feel like the cold email I'm doing right now is kind of broad. Like, I think I've got a bunch of people in there who are just like marketing agencies. I don't know if I specifically did a web design agency campaign, though. I should test a web design agency campaign and just see.
Could be cool.
And test some messaging that's more geared towards web design agencies. Like, yeah. Good call.
You could try the like Framer crowd too, like, because SEO with Framer is a pain. Like one of the reasons people say Webflow is better than Framer is the SEO portion, but might be something to solve.
But why is that? Is that because the Framer CMS doesn't support metadata and stuff very well?
No, I think it does. It's honestly, like, the experience is honestly pretty similar. I have two theories for you. One is just like how you build websites in Framer isn't class-based, and you just build kind of like Figma-based. It's a Figma-esque experience, right? So there's that, like, on-page optimization cleanliness. The other thing is Framer's very much built, like, I feel like Webflow's built for someone who, like, has learned HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
I mean, Webflow is just a visual, like, a GUI on top of CSS. It's
100%. Whereas Framer was built for, like, from a designer first mindset. Like, that's why it feels like Figma. That's why they launched these features. And like the distance between designer and SEO pro versus like developer and SEO pro is like probably 2x wider. So maybe there's that. I don't know. I mean, try it out. I'm curious to see how it goes.
I wonder if there's like a meetup or like a web design meetup or.
You are in Atlanta, the land of Jamstacks.
Wait? I thought Jamstack was more like app dev kind of stuff.
Maybe I'm thinking something else. Hold on.
Their SSL cert is currently down. Oh,
Framer?
No, Jamstack.
Oh,
Their SSL cert is currently broken, so you get security warnings when you try to go to their site.
Oh yeah. Oof.
Huh.
Whoops.
Do they have some sort of meetup in Atlanta?
I think Atlanta has, I forget what they're called. It starts with an M, but they're big. There's like a dope design dev agency over there in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, but a couple of friends have worked there. Anyway, I think they're
cool.
Like they've done a lot of Jamstack. They do a lot of they do a lot of like Next.js stuff now too.
I will say one thing I'm testing out today that I've been thinking about trying for a while is that would kind of fit with that Jamstack crowd. Be kind of interesting. So I use Astro for the MetaMonster website, which, for a little while I was like, shit, I should have built this on Webflow so that we could build a Webflow integration or whatever, and then it would be easier to update stuff. And then agents got good enough that I'm like, I think I can just export the CSV from MetaMonster, drop it into Cursor, and then just be like, take all of these things in this CSV and apply them to my pages. And so I'm really excited to try that workflow today. And if it works, that would be an interesting, play, is to like reach out to, Jamstack, Astro kind of dev shops. Be like, hey.
I mean, I wonder if there's anything you can also do with like the new OpenAI agent kit. So like, instead of you building like the integration, build one.
Well, I think if we were going after like devs, we would just build an MCP server. We would just have an MCP server so that you could like, just work with MetaMonster remotely. Like the AppKit stuff is more for like surfacing a UI inside of ChatGPT, which like we've been talking about it for sure. Actually, funny thing, Austin is not working on MetaMonster this week
Mm-hmm.
for that reason. Do you want to guess what he's working on instead?
I don't know, just more agent kit related stuff for.
Yeah, so we're looking at we were looking at not Agent Kit specifically, but the ChatGPT app store that they're like trying to launch and get off the ground.
I see.
So Austin is seeing if he can rapidly prototype a ChatGPT app that is not a MetaMonster app, but is actually something totally different.
Cool.
Do you want to try to guess what app it is? It is related to projects I have worked on.
Is it? I don't know. Is it a chart juice app? Oh,
Austin
shit.
is
Okay.
trying to test out a chart juice app to see if we can be like, if we can just like quickly throw something out there and be the first like easy app like chart designer inside of ChatGPT.
Cool.
Just as like the timing feels too good here. We've got all of the infrastructure, like you figured out like a UI for it. Let's just like kind of throw something out there and see if anything comes of it. And
then it explodes and it becomes super popular, and then you hard pivot back to chart juice.
it would be fucking wild. I don't think that's going to happen. It's also, I mean, it'll just be such a different product because it's got to be consumer focused. Like, it'll be the version of Chart Juice that I probably have talked about on this podcast wanting to build at some point, which is like, make Chart Juice free to use with a watermark. Give people 5 chart types for free or 3 chart types for free. And then if you want to unlock extra customization ability, if you want to remove the watermark, you pay a very small amount, $8 to $15 a month, something in like the Canva range. And then if you want, API access to do like other stuff with or something, some small subset of people maybe pay us more, but would be mostly a consumer play. So, we're gonna see how far he gets.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't realize. Something I've been it's on
the focus is still MetaMonster, by the way. It's just this is just like timing felt too good. It's like, all right, let's do a very tightly scoped experiment and see if anything comes from it. And if anything comes from it, maybe it does well enough to be kind of that stair-step business that then frees up our time to be able to, really focus on MetaMonster or have some budget for MetaMonster kind of thing.
Cool. Cool. On the topic of like app stores, did you know that Reddit is like big pushing their Reddit apps?
No, I didn't even. I noticed that Reddit has like games in the sidebar now. Is this related? Yeah,
these are Reddit apps. And they're trying to push like subreddit owners to like build an app for their subreddit. So it doesn't have it doesn't have to be a game, right? It's just games tend to be.
What else would it be though? Like what?
Oh, like a calorie tracker for like a fitness subreddit, or I don't know. Okay. It's like it's very weird, and I think that's why games are kind of taken off first. But kind of seems cool. Kind of feels like
if you're playing in like the consumer social space, it would be an interesting thing to try. I feel like the first person who figures out how to like build something really for Reddit, like build a game that like leverages karma and gets shared and amplified within Reddit, like almost like the April Fool's Day experiences or something that they've been doing for years. The first time someone manages to do something kind of like that, I could see it going really viral. And
absolutely. I think this idea probably spawned off of like how many of these like Reddit native like what is it, like don't press the button or
that's kind of what I'm talking about. I guess they weren't all April Fools, but
right. Who knows? Looks super cool though. Or looks, I think it's one of those things where like, I think you and I like have heard the advice of like when you know, like first mover advantage is like helpful here.
Yeah, it's for sure a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, I haven't had any time to do anything related to SaaS, to margins, like,
Yeah.
or you know, at the very end of that offsite, we're like, so are we going to work on this thing or not? It's like, yeah.
This is the problem, dude. It's so fucking hard to run an agency and stand up a SaaS at the same time. Like, this is what we talked about. It's just like, unless you just put someone on it full time and then, yeah, they kind of got to be an entrepreneur in residence type. They've kind of got to be a founder type.
Yeah.
And they've got to be fucking reliable, which is hard to find. Unless you can like find that magical person, it's just like it inevitably ends up getting like pushed to the side for, you know, agency work, the stuff that's paying the bills.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, that's where we're at. We've done nothing since our engineer left. His start looks cool though. His start looks like it's going super well.
Really?
Yeah,
cool.
It's GTMengine.ai, I think. Their whole it's not his startup. I think he's a founding engineer. It's a bunch of these other people. But this idea that like, you know, humans should not be meant to clean their CRM. What if we just piped all your calls and everything into like HubSpot and Salesforce, and then did a bunch of like other things on top of that? Just like a cool, you know, like a cool premise. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of has some overlap with the direction that Scout is like playing around with, and yeah, super interesting.
Cool.
Cool. Sorry, I got distracted by a Slack message. It would be super fun if Chart Juice had a second life. Like, I don't expect Chart Juice to be a super viable business, right? Like, it's a 100% a stair step type business that'll like plateau at some point and be, you know, probably, you know, especially if it does, if we get some traction in this more consumer-y direction, then churn will be super fucking high. It'll be like, would be a tough business to build. But one, I would love to not be paying for something that has zero revenue. I would love to get it doesn't cost much to run. It costs $100 a month or something to run, but, and it'd be less if I made some other architecture choices, but also I just always loved the name. And so I would love for it to like exist in some little state, you know, even if it's making like $500 a month or something, like that would be killer.
That'd be pretty cool. I mean, it would be pretty cool. You could always, like, you know, you could always sell it when someone else take it on. Cool. Sick. Want to wrap it there?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Good to finally get back on the mic. What
mic wagon? On the mic wagon. We're back on the mic wagon.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, awesome. Good to be back. Who knows when the next one will be? We'll see. Maybe next week.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. We'll see you next week. Probably. Bye.